So what do we think about Jim Rutherford sending out a memo to NHL teams saying there are veteran forwards available on the Vancouver Canucks currently? Now, Rick Dhaliwal of Donnie and Dolly in Vancouver drilled down on this a little bit more, and it seems like the Evander Kane experience in Vancouver is almost over. He's got 5 to 6 goals in his last 50 to 60 games. And remember, they had to move guys out to bring that salary in. Kiefer Sherwood is on fire. And
he's great.
He's been great, and he's a forward that's a UFA that makes less than $2 million. But
is he?
Yeah. He's a UFA, makes less than $2 million, and he's had the start that he's had, and he's a monster.
Oh my God.
Here's the thing, though. Balancing that, you have Jim Rutherford talking about Quinn Hughes and his agent, what the Canucks want. The Canucks are like, well, we know what we want. And he's like, Quinn knows what we want, but, people make decisions.
Oh, dear.
And, I'm hearing, I've seen some Vancouver shows today say that anybody around Quinn right now is saying he's committed to Vancouver, doesn't want to go anywhere. But as we know, if Vancouver starts trading too many vets, we're in a retool scenario. And does Quinn want that? And so I'm curious to know what you guys think about the Vancouver Canucks currently. I want to reiterate that on Monday I mentioned 2 seasons ago they had Miller, Horvat, and Elias Pettersson down the middle. They now have one of those guys, and he's the least performing one. Well, actually, no. He's actually been better than Miller this year.
He's doing better than Miller. Horvat's going off.
Yeah, Horvat's amazing.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Horvat was traded because he didn't get along with Miller too? Was that what... There was a fight there. That was
the rumor. With Vancouver, there are a lot of rumors about what goes on in the room and not a ton confirmed.
So if you're Quinn Hughes and you look at that roster 2 years ago that took Edmonton, eventual Stanley Cup finalist, to 7 games, I swear to God, if Brock Besser had been playing in Game 7, they might have won.
That's a big what if.
You look at that roster and you go, look at that compared to what I have today. This is the same management group. We've now lost our head coach, who I really loved, Rick Tocchet, who didn't want to be there. It wasn't that they fired Rick Tocchet. Rick Tocchet was just like, no, I don't think so. I'm curious about how this all plays out. How does Vancouver, Jesse and Steve, spin this mini sell-off if it is in fact happening? I mean, he sent out the damn memo. How do they spin this into a good thing for Quinn Hughes and keeping him around long-term?
Lying, if you want the literal answer.
Okay. I mean,
lie.
Winning trades, is it what do you do here? Because Evander Kane can't have a ton of value. Kiefer Sherwood definitely would, but I would have questions about Kiefer Sherwood outside of the system he's playing in. Is he going to be able to replicate that on another team?
He was a crazy hitter in Nashville, and then I think he just got a better opportunity, continued to be a crazy hitter, and scored more goals, right? So I think that's a pretty repeatable skill that he could do pretty much anywhere. That's exactly the kind of guy NHL GMs will line up to overpay for. And you better hope someone overpays for him because everyone else has no moves. You're screwed, right? I don't see them being in rebuild territory, though. This has been the frustrating thing with the Canucks for the last half decade plus, is I don't think they've ever been bad enough or even close to bad enough to really consider a full-blown rebuild. They've had the talent. Listen to the guys you just mentioned, Horvat, Miller, and Pettersson. And I'm not even sure they made the playoffs every year with those guys. I don't think they did.
Look at the list of injuries. Heedle's out, Forbert's out, Holander's out, Bluger's
let's
out.
back up and do this slowly because
okay.
I have something to say.
Philip Heedle is out.
That's the free space.
He's always out.
When the Flyers got Ryan Ellis, what did I say? I was like, I feel horrible for the guy that he got hurt again, but as of late, the thing he does most in his career is get hurt. Philip Heedle didn't ask to be crushed a couple times, but
he's prone.
This happens. This guy who doesn't play a full season in the NHL is not playing a full season in the NHL, and now we're without. and we just lost Pius Suter, which was a pretty big loss for us. Yeah, man, that's poor planning. This was always going to happen.
Forbert.
Okay.
Höglander.
Okay. Well, that's a guy you wanted to pitch out the door anyway.
Bluger.
That hurts.
Demko and Lankinen.
Yeah, that's devastating.
And you don't have Archer Silovs backing them up anymore.
Completely devastating, yeah.
That's tough.
That's bad.
So I'm just like, listen, if he's saying this.
Who the hell's in net?
Who is in net? I'll give you the names in just a second.
I know Lankinen's gone personal.
Tolopilo and Patera.
You could do worse. Like, I don't know. In terms of third stringers, you could do worse.
But you've got some of the guys I look at this roster and I'm like, well, there's some value here, right? Like there's good players. And you know, I know Alan was tweeting this weekend about, I think there was a reference to Philip Hronek made and he was like, he's got a no move, guys. He's not waiving it. Right?
Right.
Now you can have guys waive no move clauses. I just don't get the sense that Hronek is. I think Alan tweeted that. I didn't even ask Alan, but I'm making the assumption. Tyler Myers is a name.
Yeah.
Teams would sign up for a gigantic right shot tree. Right?
You gotta preface it with that's a name.
That's a name.
It's probably not the best.
Yeah. Okay there, Pierre Dorian.
There's the other Elias Pettersson, the Elias Nils Pettersson, who is a left shot defenseman on your bottom pair.
I think they got to trade him. Enough. I'm sick of there being two on the same team. That's the only reason, by the way. He's a fine player.
Could Connor Garland's name be out there? Like, I'm trying to say, like, if they're going to talk about, is David Kampf on the trading block? Like, you know, like, if this is what they're really going to do, Besser just signed to stay. Pettersson's locked in. I have a hard time thinking they would trade Jake DeBrusk because that was a big get for that organization.
Yeah.
So that leaves Kane, Garland, Kiefer Sherwood, Drew O'Connor. Like, who are you moving?
I mean, Sherwood's
that's the free
space. I think you have two missions here because you don't got to pitch everyone out the door.
Yep.
And the hockey world spends an inordinate amount of time talking about the guys the Canucks are going to trade and then they don't.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I think there's two things you got to do if you're going to accept that this is a retool year. Get Kane out the door somehow. Maximize what you get for Sherwood. Everything else beyond that, I don't know. Don't get shitty value to get a guy to waive his no move. If you get good value, fine. Right? Your team won the Calder Cup last year. I'm sure you could, graduate guys around the edges. Don't go sell on the farm, though. I don't think they're in that position.
Okay. I'm confused at what they're trying to do. I don't know what they want. Jesse,
I have no idea.
I think that's where I think the conversation should go with the Vancouver Canucks is the confusion of what they're supposed to do and the fact that I don't think Francesco Aquilini is a great owner. I think he's meddling in every single part of this organization. Bleacher Report, it's actually like on his Wikipedia page. I was reading about him yesterday. On his Wikipedia page is a Bleacher Report article where he's listed as one of the 7 most meddling owners in pro sports. He's on this list with like Dolan and Jerry Jones, which I think is appropriate for him to be put in
all
that.
pro sports.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, in North American pro sports, he's one of 7 on that list. And I think it's appropriate. Because you look at the way he runs this team and how much he's involved and what from the top down to the players, how much chaos there has been within the Vancouver Canucks.
Sorry, go ahead.
And I think that also bleeds into Jim Rutherford and how he's run this team. Because you look at Jim Rutherford, he's been there since the end of 2021. What has he done other than had a really good 24 season where everything worked? In that 24 season, they got 51 starts out of Thatcher Demko. That's probably never going to happen again, just based on Thatcher Demko's track record.
As soon as he signed that deal, I was like, are you sure?
All these players played 80 games or more for the Canucks. Höglander, Garland, Hronek, Besser, Pettersson, Hughes, and Miller.
Damn.
Extremely healthy. They win the division. They have a good 24 season. They beat up on a Nashville team that we now know are Paper Tigers, and they lose to the Edmonton Oilers in 7 games.
I don't know about beat up. Nashville outshot them most nights, right?
They won.
Adam had to stream that godforsaken series. That's why I looked at it.
It was the worst.
Adam hated it.
And yes, I think Nashville somehow did, but the Canucks would win like 3-0 on 12 shots.
Right, so they were like Carolina, but bad.
Yeah, and Nashville couldn't score. They just had no finish.
So they have that really good 24. Outside of that, Jim Rutherford's been there for a couple seasons. In those seasons, he's missed the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And then we look at how the organization has been run since he's been there. It's been chaos from the players in the locker room to on the ice and everything. I don't trust the Aquilinis or Rutherford to right this ship. And I don't think the decisions that they're going to make here are going to move this franchise forward, because in the long term, I don't trust these guys to put this franchise in a good position to win.
I'll stick up for Rutherford. But while agreeing with you that he hasn't done the best job, I think he's done the best job he can. Because if we're to believe everything that we hear about the Aquilinis, yeah, they're in trouble. You bring in an executive. I mean, he's in the Hall of Fame already. You bring in an executive like Jim Rutherford to keep ownership at bay, and he managed for a bit. He did. And he has gotten them to open their wallets, in certain situations, the Demko deal. And
they never
getting Besser done.
With Benning too, like they always spent. They're just on the wrong people.
They always want to spend.
Yeah.
Like Jay Beagle at $3.5 million.
They want to spend sometimes when it comes to like building a practice rink. They are the only team in the league without a
How don't you have
facility.
that?
That doesn't even make sense.
And your specialty, the way you made your money, is real estate. You build shit for a living.
You're an NHL team without a facility to practice at.
And so
the expansion PWHL team has one.
If things seem as volatile and chaotic as they did before Rutherford even got there, well,
what's the common denominator?
The common denominator is ownership,
yeah.
And it's the worst position to be in, because like we'll sit here and talk about the Sabres sometimes, and we're like, well, what if they And the conclusion we usually get to at the end of the conversation is it's a waste of breath, because it all comes back to ownership.
Yeah.
And this is how a lot of Leaf conversations go. Like my frustration with, well, I want them to change this. Well, this is how MLSE does things. And at least there's a bit of a track record of like, well, the Raptors are doing well.
Hey, the Blue Jays are doing well.
The Blue Jays are doing well. And the Blue Jays aren't part of MLSE, but yes, they are.
Yeah. The only time that I've heard of Ed getting involved was that he thought Masai Ujiri was making too much money. Like, other than that, he doesn't.
And then it's the first opportunity they got to fire him. They did. And look at the team now. Great decision, Rogers.
Yeah.
These great stuff. For the Leafs, I don't think it's on ownership and their decision making. I blame the front office a lot for that stuff, like the president. But with the Canucks, I think you can directly point to ownership and look at a lot of this chaos.
Not having a practice facility is one.
And I think that's a large reason. Like your head coach wants to willingly leave, and I'm glad you brought that up, Adam. And I don't want to start the Quinn Hughes leaving stuff, but people have already started it, and that's how you lose franchise players, where they look at the place they're going to settle down for the entirety of their lives, and they're like, I don't really want to be here, and there's a lot of other options to play professional hockey, and you got to be really worried about losing Quinn Hughes.
You can change a coach, you can fire a general manager. Pretty hard to fire an owner.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty hard to fire an owner. Or while the owner is there, change the owner's ways.
You could be an executive in the NHL for 50 years and not get a player like Quinn Hughes.
Yeah. He's the second best defenseman in the NHL.
Behind Matthew Schaefer.
Behind Matthias Samuelsson, according to the analyst. No, actually, he's, it's Cale Makar and then everybody else, but Quinn is the second.
You don't get many guys who are in the Norris conversation every year, and he's worthy of it.
Don't give him an excuse to go.
Right? Yeah.
And that's the thing. So, okay, if you've been bitten hard by the injury bug, and they have been, and it's a retool year, then make that clear to Quinn, and you better be good next October.
Yeah. Can I also say Jim Rutherford needs to wear some of this, because he might be, outside of Barry Trotz, the worst talker in the media.
Oh,
every time he's in front of a microphone, which seems so often. Why is he talking so much?
Vancouver's a hot market for media. Like, they demand that.
No,
they really get mad.
They know.
Yeah.
And whenever he's in front of a mic, he always says a ridiculous thing like, "Oh, Quinn might leave." And like, why are you saying that?
For all the talk of how ravenous Canadians are and how ravenous the Canadian hockey media is, executives across this country try to talk their way out of a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Like
blah, 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 blah. And you're like, oh, boy.
Oh, Don Maloney showed up for some reason to chat.
Bergevin did it for a while there in Montreal.
Oh man, Pierre Dorian and oh my God,
they tried to talk
and
their
the
way
owner there. Now, like, listen, I know he's dead, but every time Eugene Melnyk spoke, it was worse.
Even Michael Andlauer. I'm gonna get those draft picks back. They really fucked us with that one, Gary. Shut up.
No,
Gary's not gonna give you anything if you're talking about him in the media.
Yeah, you know who got his pick back? Lou.
Because he knows how to play the game,
and he found out something probably and was able to use that as leverage.
No,
I think Lou did.
Yeah,
no, Michael Andlauer.
He sent a picture and said, "Are these your size?" And it was just a pair of concrete shoes.
Yeah. All of these executives talking, like Jim Rutherford should know better.
Calgary, Edmonton for a while, they're not quite as bad as
they're not
used to be.
No,
Edmonton's pretty well run.
Vancouver, man, they try to talk to for like all the way back to Benning, like they try to talk their way out of everything.
Yeah, and we don't even realize, like, we don't. It's not a note when he talks that he's not even the general manager, and he's like Jim Rutherford.
Oh, I know.
Like, but that should be like a footnote on all these things. This is the president talking, not the guy who's supposed to be making the actual transactions. But we clearly know he is the general manager with the president title. It's ridiculous.
Their social media throws me off too, because they begin every tweet with Canucks general manager Patrick Allvin has announced, and I go, so-and-so has been sent down. And I'm like, what? That's not how you begin a tweet about someone was sent down in the minors.
Also, nobody talks like that. Like Jacob Quillen was just sent down by the Leafs like right now. And,
really?
And it just appeared on the Leafs roster page. Like Brad Treliving is not announcing that. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Hear ye, hear ye. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, town crier. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tired of thinking a blockbuster trade happened and all you did was call up Nils Aman. It pisses me off. It pisses me off.
That's second line right winger to Elias Pettersson in the playoffs, Nils Aman to use.
Oh, I know. I'm not criticizing him, but I'm like, I thought something juicy was happening.
Yeah.
And it's just you called a guy up.
Stop saying shit.
Forgive me for having no faith in the current Canucks regime to get these things done appropriately and turn this around for this season. I don't think this is a playoff team right now. And if I'm them, you got to really sell off Kane, who's going to be UFA, and anything else you can't that's not nailed down. And you got to really think about if we're going to lose Quinn Hughes or not.
What are you going to, I think you're going to, like, are people going to pay for Evander Kane?
No.
$5 million?
How many teams?
Well, here's the thing. Like a non-playoff team that's either rebuilding or retooling. Oh, wait, that's you. So
it's not going to be. So if there's a team looking for a power forward with some salary retained, I guess, because he can be a real factor when he wants to be, man. He can.
Yeah, but
he's had so many injuries.
When the hell is he ever going to want to be?
And you know what?
You have no idea.
There are guys where it's like, you've been on a lot of teams. I don't know what that means, but you've been on a lot of teams.
Send him to Washington. He can be near his buddy.
Who's his buddy?
Cash Patel. Which is insane.
Also, Michael Bublé was commenting on Canucks posts this weekend. I don't know if you guys saw that.
That guy.
He's a big Canucks fan, but I actually disagree with him on this. He said, reading comments like these,
you disagree with my personal friend Michael?
What a shit fan base we are. With fans like us, karma will always give us what he deserves. Mike, you're supposed to make the playoffs this year, and fans are pissed. They're allowed to vent.
Yeah, but that's him.
Mike.
That's him venting. Right?
Yeah.
He's pissed. That guy.
But he's mad. He's not mad at the team that management put together. He's mad at the fans for being upset that they've disappointed.
I think that's...
Come on, Mike.
That's Mike talking about what he can control, which is like...
I think he's connected to management there.
Probably.
And has friends there and is sticking up for them, and that's fine. But like, dude, come on.
But
fans are going to be fans.
That is... I'm not that type of fan, but a lot of people are. And they're like, listen, let's control what we can control, which is our attitude towards the team.
Yeah, you know what?
We can help.
And when we get skunked, you need to be positive about it.
Some people think that way, man.
Leaf fans love to tell me that.
Oh, I know.
Hey, wow! They're only 7 points out of first place. Yeah, we haven't even played 30 games yet. 7 points.
That's kind of a lot.
Crazy.
Yeah. I know, man. I know.
Come on. I'm allowed to say bad is bad. And I'm not a shitty person for doing that.
I don't like blaming the fans, but like a lot of people think that way.
Okay, good for them. Now,
Let me stick up for my close personal friend.
I think he's wrong on this
from
one.
British Columbia.
He could be wrong. I'm your close personal friend. I'm wrong all the time. Do you stick up for me?
No, we'll see.
No.